Every Thursday, the garbage truck traversed their neighborhood, following its usual route until it reached a specific townhouse. As it came to a halt, the driver stepped out of the vehicle and positioned himself by the roadside. An air of anticipation surrounded him, leaving onlookers curious about the reason for his waiting. Among the intrigued spectators, one keen observer, 3-year-old Brooklyn Andracke, caught sight of the scene and cautiously approached the man. She wondered what was going on. She quickly got her phone from her bag and started recording the incident. Delver Dobson was well known in the community. He'd been a sanitation worker in that neighborhood for years, even though he was a reserved man and a majority of people had never spoken to him. A neighbor had the opportunity to get to know Delver up close one day. The events that followed were recorded on video and had been seen by people worldwide. Bloomington, Illinois was the setting for this story. There are a lot of unspoken things that go on in our communities that we can learn from this story. Delver Dobson, as previously said, was not a particularly gregarious individual. This, however, does not imply that he was rude. In fact, he appeared to get along well with one family in the area of the Andracke. Each Thursday, Dobson used to greet the Andracke family with his distinctive greeting when the garbage truck rolled through the neighborhood. Honking and waving at the Andracke every time he passes by their house were his routines. The question is why? What was his bond with them? The answer is straightforward. You had never met them before. Brooklyn, the Andracke 3-year-old daughter, was a massive admirer of the area's beloved sanitation work. It was a treat for her to see the enormous truck drive past her house on Thursday mornings for some unknown reason, and she makes sure everyone knew about it. Every time the garbage truck passed, she waited at the window with her mother and waved. That was the highlight of her week. When questioned about the event, her mother, Trasa Andracke, said to Brooklyn, "He's our favorite, wonderful, cheerful garbage man." It was Brooklyn's 4th birthday, and it was a fantastic day. However, it was not without flaws. She was heartbroken over the fact that it was Wednesday. Meeting Dobson as he drove his truck down the block would have improved her day. Brooklyn and Trasa, on the other hand, have devised a strategy to compensate, and it was all witnessed by one of the locals who didn't think twice about filming it for all to see. It was Thursday the following day, which meant that Brooklyn got to see Dobson again. She wanted to make sure he felt included in her birthday celebration, even if he was not there. Brooklyn and her mother got up early the following day and stood in front of the property with one of Brooklyn's celebration cupcakes. They smiled at Dobson and signaled for him to come over when the truck finally came. From his truck, Dobson saw Brooklyn and Trasa, and just like every other week, he waved and honked at them. But then he noticed that the mom and her daughter wanted him to stop, and so he did. He walked out of the truck and walked towards Brooklyn and Trasa. And his heart melted when the little girl with a shy smile gave him the cupcake, while Trasa told him about how it was her birthday yesterday, and they wished he would have been there. As a mom, I can't even describe how happy it made me that she got to meet him finally, and Trasa told the press when she was questioned about the story some days later. She was literally starstruck and could not even say a word. I had to do all the talking for her, and she is never usually short on words. I explained to him that he makes our day every Thursday, and we really appreciate the honking and waving and how special of a date it is for us, she added. After he left, we continued on the daycare. Brooklyn was unusually quiet in the back seat. I asked her if she was okay, and she said, "Mommy, I'm so happy," and the story doesn't end there. 1 week later, Dobson's truck was rolling down the street again, and as usual, Brooklyn and Trasa were waving at him from their yard, but suddenly Dobson stopped in front of their house and got out of the truck with a box. With a smile, he handed the box to Brooklyn. What could that be? Brooklyn and Trasa couldn't wait to find out. As they opened the box intrigued, it was full of toys from Brooklyn's favorite movie, Frozen. The little girl couldn't contain her excitement. She and her mom wholeheartedly thanked Dobson, and 1 week later they had something prepared to thank him. Brooklyn made a big note with the words, "Thank you, Delver," written on it. Dobson was moved to tears by this gesture, and from then on, he hung the letter on his truck so the whole neighborhood could see it. In today's fast-paced, social media-driven world, it seems like something new goes viral every day. Occasionally, stories unfold in unexpected ways, some for unfortunate reasons, but others, like Delver and Brooklyn's, for truly remarkable ones. In a world where ordinary individuals are catapulted into the limelight and swiftly forgotten, Delver Dobson's tale deviated from this pattern. His story had only just begun. Prior to becoming a viral sensation, Delver quietly forged his path to success. Many remained unaware of his diligent ascent in the world. To Delver, being a garbageman wasn't just a job, it was a source of pride, much like everything else he dedicated himself to. However, he viewed his role as a garbageman as a stepping stone, a means to accomplish his greater aspirations when the opportune time arrived.